Well, hey everybody, it's time once again for another exciting review, Chess Vets. I'm telling you, I've personally been looking forward to this. And in fact, from a perspective here from the old biker chess dude, let me tell you, it piques my interest to see how people are playing, how they're doing it, and what they're thinking about. And that will be the key today. When you see these games, you go, what were they thinking about? Well, I'm going to just tell you, when you're involved in the tsunami of what is the game and the competition, sometimes it happens to the old biker chess dude. Your thoughts should have got off at the last bus stop, but it just kept on going. Jeez. But today, what we're going to have is a game that you're going to really enjoy, I hope. It's a short one, but I think it has a lot to say. The two people that will be playing out here today are going to be ones that you're really going to enjoy. We got, as the white pieces, the master of slyness, the one and only, that's right, the foxwizard, playing against the Grumpygirl. Yes, the one that took on the master and almost had it. She's back again, but the foxwizard, I'm telling you, he plays kind of nutty. Sometimes that's a double-edged sword. You get that play going up there. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it just goes, well, we're going to find out right here today. Okay, so again, we're going to remind you this Chess Vets tournament. It's a game 5 with a 5-second increment. So Grumpygirl is playing the dark pieces out there, and the foxwizard into the white. We started off with the move knight f3. Wow, not too shabby. Okay, he's trying a little hypermodernism. He's going to strike with some power in the center. Now, normally in the center, you would want to open up a pawn, usually king pawn or the queen pawn, so that you stake a claim in the center, and also it opens up the path for your bishops to get out and start to develop. But there is something to be said out there with bringing out the knight. The knight gives you a little bit of more of a critique. You're keeping your opponent guessing. What's he going to do next? And I'm telling you, when you play the Wizard Fox, that's what's on your mind, is you're going to say, what the heck is he going to do next? All right, so Grumpygirl says, I ain't having nothing of it. She sticks to the plan. She goes and plays a solid move, pawn to d5. Notice how the pawn is striking in, claims a set into the center 4 squares, and is exerting some pressure onto the white's e4 square. White moves up and meets her move with his pawn to d4. Both of them are now staking a claim. Black decides that what it's going to do is bring out and develop his light squared bishop. Now, this is going to be kind of wondering up there. I mean, this could lead into maybe a Caro Kann. We're looking into maybe a bit of a Grunfeld. We're not sure exactly where it's going to go, but when black plays his bishop out to the f5 square, usually the pawn chain is going to be e6, d5, c4, that kind of diagonal. Try saying that when you had about 3 bears. A diagonal pawn chain that's going to be pointing towards the queen side. If the chain is going to close it out, the bishop will be on the side where it can do the most damage, and so everything is looking good. Okay, now you go up there and it says, okay, what's he going to do? He plays pawn to e3. He solidifies his strong point and gets another pawn that's helping support into the battle of the center. Again, we can now start to see where the battle is going. Even though that white played his knight out first and did not put any pawns in the center at first, notice how he is now catching up. Things are starting to equalize. The light squared bishop is now opening to be able maybe come to d3 to challenge black's light squared bishop, maybe support a pawn to c4 push, bishop to b5. The king could get into a check. We'll see what goes on out here. Looks like it's starting up to be pretty good. The Grumpygirl's gonna see his pawn in the center and raise him a pawn in the center. Pawn to e6, and notice now we got something going. Notice that the king side is kind of all being blocked up in here. I mean, every kind of walled off. The queen side of the boards are turning into the wild, wild west. Both bishops, the Grumpygirl's dark squared bishop, the light squared bishop of white, are both battling for this kind of long range control with these diagonals between the a3 and the f8 and of course the F1 to the A6 square. These diagonals are helping out there. Continuing on, let's see what type of slyness the old fox wizard's got. Oh, and before I get into that, again, I tell you, I've been checking out these things. I'm looking. This is an acceptable move order from what I see. Not major things are going crazy, but has this been played before? Well, we're looking into the reference database, and by golly, it has. These exact moves have been played. Magnus Carlsen, Carl Magnus. Don't try to do this when you have your beer. Even though I'm feeling no pain, you're probably getting some. No, we got Magnus Carlsen and Yemen Sina. Again, I'm horrible with names. Look, I just butchered Magnus Carlsen, but they played these move orders right here, and up to this point, they are following the exact same move order. So again, cutting edge moves. We go back over here to the notation. White Wizard says what's going to go on. How's he going to do this? He strikes with C4. Yes! He nasty old fox comes out there, throwing that little spell. He's trying to lure you. He's trying to go lull you in with this, watch the pawn. He's trying to undermine the center. He's doing this little flanking maneuver. He's offering a flank pawn, which is on the C file, protected by his light squared bishop. Black comes out there, decides it's going to take the C pawn. He takes back with a bishop and replaces a valuable pawn, a center pawn from Grumpygirl, and adds a piece that again strikes in that center. Will she take it? I don't know what she got on her mind. Grumpygirl looking it over, you can tell that things are kind of going in her mind. She's staring in there, and you're just seeing you see the electricity just kind of going all over herself. Oh man, she's getting ready, she's doing it. And what does she play? C5! She sees you pawn, she raises you a pawn. This tension in the center here is getting kind of nuts. Now we're getting into a Queen's Gambit, symmetrical, maybe a Baltic defense. This is the kind of play that's going. Now, Black is going to want to try maybe bringing the knight to C6. White's going to try doing the same. Maybe exchanging some pawns here, whether it's the C for the D, getting some of these lines open. One thing for sure is that if we look at the side here for Black, notice all of his Grumpygirl's pieces on her king side are still on the home base. If she's going to castle, she better. It's going to take her a little while. It's going to take at least 3 moves for her to castle. While White can get the same type of job done here in 2. Let's see what we got going here. It's getting kind of exciting. What's trap? What type of deviltry does the Fox Wizard have? He plays knight to h4. That's an unusual move. Notice how the knight is attacking the bishop. Now that the bishop's on this side of the pawn chain, it doesn't have a whole lot of free squares it can go to. It can't go here or here. It could sack itself for the knight on the b1. If it drops back, this knight can take it. He's putting the question to the bishop. Okay, bishop, what's your problem? Oh man, and if the bishop goes, say, to e4, and then maybe we play the pawn to f3, and again the bishop is running out of squares where to go. But this is the kind of move that you really want to consider before you move. For other ones that are coming up through the ranks, try not to move anybody out into an attack unless your guy has backup. You don't go charging down the hill without somebody covering your back, because if you don't, boom, you get nailed. Somebody sneaks up from behind and whacks you with a baseball bat. Oh, that's another story for a long time ago. But anyway, so White, I think, has overlooked something. But something caught the Grumpygirl's eye. Can you figure it out? Can you see it? That's right. She sees that the knight has no backup. And what happens when a knight has no backup? Blam! The queen comes out, smacks him, kicks him right in the neck. The gut. Oh my gosh! I'm telling you, when that knight got it, you could almost hear the horse. He just weeping. Oh my gosh! So with the play already, the Grumpygirl maybe even starting to turn a little bit happy, because she's a piece up. She's a piece up, and we're just in for 5 moves in the game. Wow! So let's see what we're going to do. Now, the wizard out here, I mean, if this is a calculated move, I got to see where it's going. Okay, the sly fox, the one and only the fox wizard's going to keep on going. He plays the next move, G3. He's got to get the queen out of there. The queen is bringing some intolerable pressure on the F2 pawn and all just the king side itself. Okay, queen sees this. Okay, she doesn't need to, she knows when she's not wanted. Moves back to F6. She's getting her pieces, again, consolidated. The center is pretty well stable right about at the moment until we start making a bunch of exchanges. But what's happening in exchanges? We still don't have a whole lot of pieces developed. White's pieces, even though he lost the knight on the H4, he still has some possibilities of, getting things going. We're looking knight C3, the bishop to the D2, maybe queen to A4 check. This is a possibility. Bishop to the G2 and castle. The white's got to do something here too, folks, because you don't want to sitting out there with your tail in the wind and there ain't nobody closing the door. All right, so coming back up there, queen ran away. Maybe this gives the sly fox part of his plan. What's he got next? He says, holy Christmas, this is one I did not expect. G4 comes up to the bishop and puts a question once again to the bishop, right in his face. He says, hey, eat this. Now notice here, the bishop cannot take it. If he does, his queen comes and smacks the daylights out of him. Bishop's running out of places to run. We'll see where it goes. The Grumpygirl, although she grimaced a little bit, but you can tell she had something in mind. Bishop E4, staring down at the rook in the corner. Although the G4 move was a very energetic move for the wizard, it did have backup with the queen, but now we're starting to see a lot of holes around the king, and most of those holes right here are all light squared holes. That's got to be filled. This is another thing up too, is that don't shove your pawns up unless you can really get something going, because all these holes can now start to be exploited. So coming back after his bishop to go there, what is the fox going to do? He plays pawn to F3, blocks the attack against his rook and attacks the bishop at the same time. Now, we're looking at the principle now of the backup. Does his pawn have backup? Yes, it does. It has queen backup. But we got to do the math. Always do the math. Grumpygirl does the math. She does it, but women got the math down. Why? Because they do the budget. They're always shopping. They're grabbing up there. They got the money. They go to pull out the plastic. They got the credit card machine just burning and wet. You got to do the math. So what do we got? We got the queen, again, who is falling back and just reorganizing, attacking the F3 square. We got the bishop attacking. That's 2. We got 1 backup person. The person that's being targeted is never counted because it's just going to be blasted. And it does not look good for the F3. I'm thinking that the wizard out there is casting some spells. He's getting into that spell and stuff. I don't know. But it's looking a little something for the fox wizard. So Grumpygirl sees it, takes it immediately. Bam! The bishop striking. Blam! Another kick into the gut. Oh, you can just, he's rolling on the floor. He's cupping him. Go! This bishop right here is a kick right in the gut. Not only are we forking the queen, we are forking the rook. This pawn is unprotected. It's protected by the queen. Oh my gosh. Wizard, I don't know what spell you got in your book of tricks, but somebody's going to come up on the weekend of the... Now here, if I'm white, after this, I'm going to be trying desperately to limit my options. Now here's one option we could probably try. Queen to A4 check. He has to do something with the check, whether he's blocking it or running away, and then move the rook out of the way. That could at least get you out of there, but still, we're talking a whole lot of pawns that have been taken away from the cover of the king. The king is almost stuck out in the middle of the board. Man, but never turn your back on the fox. Yeah, that's right. You can hear him in the back. Yeah, they're cheering for the fox back here. Okay, we go up there. Fox says queen takes f3. The guys, the whole Fox cheering line, they're saying yes, yes, yes. But the queen, again, no backup. Queen takes queen. Now, the rook is stuck and being under attack. The G-pawn is under attack. This ain't looking too hot. He plays knight to D2, attacking the queen, protecting his bishop, but oh my gosh, look what the rook is still under attack. It is not protected. The pawn on E3 that was in front of the king was protected by the bishop, which is now not protected by the bishop because he interposed the knight. Man, I don't know what type of plans that the Fox Wizard had up here, but it's not looking good. Grumpy Girl is starting to turn into Giggly Girl now. Oh my gosh. She decides a rook's a rook. Fox Wizard says it's time to open up some lines. Maybe I can get some last minute initiative, get a counterattack going. C takes D5. Queen comes back. The center for white is about to collapse. And the only thing I could do, if I could give any type of advice, will the Fox cheering team shut up? Gosh, these cheerleaders. So, anyway, if I would just really, if I was a Grumpy Girl, I would develop more pieces and get my king safety up there. Of course, if he's going to let you take stuff, I'd take it. So he plays E4. The queen can go over there, can always take the D pawn. It can run away. What does Grumpy Girl do? She takes the D pawn. Again, stripping away more cover from the king. He plays bishop to B5. Check. Knight to D7, she blocks it. The king is now in trouble because we're looking at queen to G1, check. And we're bringing up, oh my gosh, she could castle and bring things together. If she just starts developing some more pieces, that's where the Fox Wizard says the spells have been going a little bad, and he calls it. So he resigns at this point on move 13. If we can, let us just go over what we saw. We saw some very energetic and inventive moves by white. They were following a move up to a point to about, move 4 and of getting their pieces in together. He made a mistake and he played the knight on H4 and got whacked by the queen. But remember, you don't want to fall in the trap of quicksand. What am I talking about quicksand? Is that you do something, you know it's a mistake. Okay, you're a piece down, but you can get yourself back together. You can do it. Just gotta get yourself back and don't let it get you down, because then you start to worry and you figure, well, I got to do something. Hurry up to try to catch up on it. And so you struggle and you try to make things happen. Do some other things that you normally wouldn't do, and you sink a little deeper, and you sink a little deeper, and then you start freaking out. You start throwing some pieces. I gotta do this, and I'll throw the pawn. Calculation and doing the math has to be considered when you're looking at your candidate moves. Although they both played a very instructive, good game, the thing I could do with for Grumpy Girl, she really needed to develop her king side to get her pieces out and get her king castle to safety. It's just by chance that he played a couple of mistimed moves that gave her the opportunity to get some initiative going and crashing all around. Other than that, take that back to the bank. We got more games that we're going to be reviewing. I'm going to be putting out soon. So congratulations to the Grumpy Girl. The Fox Wizard is going to be out there next Wednesday and pulling up some new tricks for you. So until then, everybody, this is the old biker chess dude reminding you, do what the old biker chess dude does when he goes out to play chess. Keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up, and the pieces on the board. We'll see you in a little bit, guys. Take it easy, everybody.